Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. We are about to embark on the final leg, the final second half of the Heritage Auctions 2020 Florida Fun Auction. And this, like as you see on screen, this features the best of the rest, okay? In my Monday market report, we took a look at all of the notable Lincoln cents. The Lincoln cents played a huge kind of like big presence in this particular sale. We saw a lot of like trailblazing coins that are featured in that auction, and I gotta tell you, it's probably some of the craziest coins I've ever seen on screen. But we have 14 coins that surpasses well over $100,000 in total sales from the 14 coins, and it's going to cover the rest of the denominations, the main ones primarily. You know, we're going to be looking at nickels all the way through half dollars. In this one, we saw the actual fun auction come to a close yesterday with the final bids of the kind of like the minor paper money currency auction type. I tried throwing a few bids in a lot of these auctions from the last 7 days, and kind of hard to do when your budget's only $1,000. And you know, it's something that I've anticipated and have been hopeful for and have saved money up for such an event, but it just wasn't meant to be. And it was crazy. It's almost as if the market came alive, and it always does with the January fun auction. Again, Heritage Auctions does a fantastic job, guys, at publicizing, advertising this event. If you had consigned a coin to Heritage for the fun auction, you better believe that they do a great job getting everything all set up. And it shows, okay? We saw some record money flying through this particular auction. I just love the internet-based kind of like auction format. They've done it for many years, but it's so seamless. It's very, very easy for them to integrate this as kind of like a new wave of just being at home and auctioning, you know, right from your computer. It's great. All right, so they did a great job. So we're going to go ahead and review the 14 coins listed here. And as always, guys, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the like button. Hook a brother up, with some love in there. Throw in a comment. Let me know what you think about some of the coins here. Share and subscribe. All right, hit the bell for instant notifications, so that way you get the first-hand look of all the newest video uploads. Okay, nothing to it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We got some nickel action here to talk about. And the first coin is going to be this 1941D Jefferson nickel. Now this one right here is an NGC Mid-State 68. It is a 6 full steps, as you guys know. NGC compared to PCGS, which is the gold standard of grading. NGC is like a 1B in all of this. NGC grades full steps a little bit differently. They'll either do a 5 full steps or 6 full steps. And the full steps is all about the center set of steps on Monticello on the reverse of the coin. This one has 6 full lines, okay, that go all the way across. It's a stunning coin. Very, very original. This one sold for $8,100. Now, you gotta tell me, that is a great way to kick off this recap. With, generally, I would like to say this is a pretty common date Jefferson nickel, but it is a very, very uncommon grade. Considering that it was graded through NGC, sold for this kind of money, I think there's a lot of legitimacy regarding NGC's grading, much like PCGS's. All the coins featured in this recap are, of course, graded. Generally, with Heritage, you could send them a coin already graded for consignment, or you could send them the coin for them to take a look at. Now, keep in mind, they deal in high-end stuff. So you have stuff that's like marginal, worth 20, 30 bucks. You probably don't want to send it there. These are fine collection pieces that they deal with, but they do, again, a great job in maximizing the amount of exposure of your coin. So that's how that works. And then they'll go ahead and send it out for grading for you if you send them a raw coin. that kind of cuts the mustard, you know, kind of fits the bill of what they're looking for their auctions. All right, so that's the first coin up for discussion. The next one that we have here, keeping it in the 40s. Okay, we got a 1949 Jefferson nickel. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 66 with full steps. You know, it's 2 grade points lower than the 41D, but 49 is undeniably one of the toughest dates to find with full steps for whatever reason. I found a few of them myself, although they're not 66 caliber type of coins, but I've gone through a few original BU rolls in my lifetime. They're not exactly the easiest thing to look for an affordable amount of money. But this one right here is sold for $4,560. A really pleasing example. And, you know, another chef's kiss of a coin. It's a very original, pleasing example. Blast white. Not a lot of toning on this one. All right, so we got one more nickel here to discuss, and it is disgusting. It's a 1952D. Again, another one of those common dates. And you could say the same for just about any date of Jefferson nickel. They're not hard to look for. You know, if you're looking for just an example, okay, all of these are pretty well featured at an affordable price. It doesn't matter where you shop for them. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps, and this one sold for $7,800. All right, so yeah, all these prices are apropos for these series as long as the full steps designation kind of, you know, figures into the equation when it comes to the actual value of these coins. Again, it's a very niche market. Okay, there are people that collect, they fill registry set needs. They're looking for, you know, pieces that'll move them up the ladder in the point system. Crazy to think, but you know, it is very important to a lot of these folks. All right, so that kind of wraps up the nickels. Okay, how about we check out some dimes? And believe it or not, I am very pleased to talk about a laundry list of various Mercury dimes. You know, I don't talk about them that frequently, only because that my viewers, you know, the folks at home generally are looking for coins that they could find. All right, but in the vein of keeping it kind of elite, all right, we have a number of very elite Mercury dimes. Of course, this is one of the most beautiful designs in history. All right, so it's fitting that we're able to fit in a few of these in here. Okay, the Adolph Wyman Mercury dime design, again, timeless. 1918S. Okay, wow, one of the toughest dates to find with full split bands. Again, strike characteristic designation on these coins are important. Full steps, full split bands, full bell lines on Franklin half dollars. Okay, you start designating these strike characteristics on you know, on these coins, and then all of a sudden you have like a secondary market in which there's like I don't know, there's really no way, you know, it's like living in Beverly Hills, but you know, every home is like expensive, but you want to live at the hill that overlooks the whole valley. Okay, that's kind of what, you know, strike characterization entails. It's like, okay, this is great, but I want greater. Okay, that's why people spend a ton of money for these full band coins. Now this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 66 plus, full split bands, and it's sold for $28,800. Okay, so we have another one right here, and I have talked about this coin before. It is the most difficult date, all right, 1919D, to find with full bands. Now this one right here isn't the highest graded example, okay, because I've seen this coin sell in excess of $100,000 at one point in the past. But this one right here is an NGC Mint State 65 full bands. This one also has kind of like that funky label on there. It's a Whitman Red Book label. It's signed by the author Kenneth Brissett. All right, so I don't see what exactly the tie-in is here. You know, and I don't see a big premium associated with this type of signature on this slab label. But it's sold for $8,400. Yes. So a truly, elite example of this coin that's just going to keep on getting more expensive as time goes on. So the sixth coin on the list is going to be a 1930 Mercury dime. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. Wow. Full split bands. It is also CAC certified. And this one sold for $9,000. Pretty cool coin here. Not the most rarest of dates. 1930 is, pretty much available out there, but to find one at this preservation of grade is, again, really difficult. So that's that one. Okay, so we have a couple more Merc dimes to talk about. We have a 31S here for you, and this one is really pretty. 31S has kind of been dubbed as kind of like a semi-key of the post-1930 Mercury dimes. I know, that doesn't say a whole lot because the series in general is very short. It goes from 1916 to 1945. So we're talking like a 14-year period in which, we see more common dates, more availability. So 1930 is kind of like that beginning point of, some of the better availability compared to like the 20s and the teens. So this one right here, this 31S, is a PCGS Mint State 67 full split band, CAC certified, and this one sold for $12,600. Pretty cool. All right, and then finally, the last Mercury dime on the list is a 45D. You can't get any more plain and just like high mintage than this one right here. This one features a really nice, pretty swath of blue toning on the obverse of the coin. So that's worth noting. This one is a PCGS Mint State 68 full split bands. Okay, that is an abnormally high grade for this type of coin right here, being that it's the last year of the Mercury dime. This one sold for $4,800. Pretty cool coin. Very nice. Lots of originality here. I feel like it's worth every penny. You get into a grade that's 68 or higher, then we're talking about excuse me, we're talking about all the marbles falling at the same time. This is a really pretty coin. All right, and then speaking of pretty coins, okay, we have a few quarters to mention. This one right here, take a look at this one. It's a 1937 Washington quarter. Again, a very available date, okay, in all grades. This one, however, is a notable Cherry Picker's Guide variety. It's a double die obverse. Check out In God We Trust. Oh my gosh. This thing you could probably see a mile away. It's that dramatic of a spread on there, and it is a chase coin. Okay, it's a coin that people look for at coin shows, coin shops, old collections, whatever. This one is designated as FS101. It's an NGC Mint State 66. It's a pretty nice lofty grade. This one sold for $8,100. Can you imagine all the excitement? You're sitting there at a coin show and you're just going through just some basic, random, brilliant, uncirculated Washington quarters, and then you happen to come across something like this. It's like, oh my God, this is the cherry pick of the decade right here. $8,000 later, and yeah, you're smooth sailing. So pretty nice coin regardless. All right, so we got another quarter here for you, and this one, this one is very available. This one actually, the 54S Washington quarter, is one of those dates in which it features a really strong strike. All right. Oftentimes you'll find mid-state 64s, 65s, and even 66s as at a reasonable amount of money. Okay, you can pick up something like this for between $10 and $30 all day long. It's not rare, but this grade right here makes you think otherwise. It's an NGC Mint State 68 plus. Oh my, holy smokes, man. CAC certified. When we're talking 68 plus, it's like it is to the pinnacle of perfection. You have 69. You have a 69 plus, and then 70. 70 is the top grade for any coin in the grading scale. It's crazy that this one is a point and a half away from hitting that kind of like top threshold. I don't know of any just general Washington quarter during this age, this time period that graded 70. So this one right here, I could see why that it's a lot of attention was brought to it. I mean, it did sell for $7,200, where again, customarily you can find a Mint State 67 for around maybe $40. You know, it's a really nice high grade coin, a very clean grade. This one puts that one to shame tenfold. This is a really nice coin. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and move on, huh, shall we? So the next one here, probably one of those coins that traditionally you wouldn't see on a list like this, but I thought I would throw it in there just to invoke a little bit of a response from you folks. The 1967 Washington quarter, just a basic old business strike coin right here on the list. This one, however, is a PCGS Mint State 68. It's pretty, okay? It's a very smooth looking coin. It's even got some of the original toning around the edge. It probably was an album coin at one point. Hard to say where these things pop up at, but this one right here, high grade, sold for $4,800. It used to be that 67 was the top grade of a 67, and then a 67 plus came along. We're just seeing better quality coins getting submitted. People are going through those BU rolls like it's going out of style. You know, it's like bell bottoms of the 2000s. You know, it's just it's crazy. People are ditching the old stuff for the new, and sure enough, you know, still worth a lot of money. But you gotta try and reach a little bit further in order to realize $4,000+ for a modern date Washington quarter. Pretty crazy. Speaking of modern, all right, check out this 2004D Washington quarter. Okay, this is the statehood variant of Wisconsin. And for those of you that have been sleeping under a rock, you know, throughout this program, you guys know that the U.S. Mint threw in a little nugget. Okay, I would say that this is a more earlier representation of today's kind of like seeded modern rarity, okay, kind of like what you see with the West Point quarters of 2019. This one right here, they added in a low leaf and a high leaf variety, okay. No, this was not a mistake, guys, okay. This was intentional, and they just wanted to see, oh, okay, who's gonna actually find out that there is something different about these quarters. And then it took off like a wildfire. You know, it's like the first one was discovered in like Texas. Come to find out, the next one was discovered in like Texas, and then come to find out that a good amount of these were dropped in Texas and Oklahoma. All right, so a very neat find. They're still being found today, especially in that region. So you guys there in the deep south, looking for something very interesting in your coins, keep an eye out for the low and high leaf variety Wisconsin quarters. Now this one right here is an aberration, okay? It's a PCGS Mint State 67 coin. It's a very high grade. Brought home $6,000 on Heritage Fund. Pretty fun coin. It just speaks for itself. A really pretty clean example. So we have two more coins before we wrap it up and put 2020 fun in the books. And I figured there is no better coins to kind of close it out than probably the best piece of artwork that you could ever figure would end up on a coin, and that's going to be the Walking Liberty half dollar. We have two dates. Probably you guys are thinking to yourself, man, these are kind of common dates. Why are they even on the list? Well, we have a 42S. And this particular date, not a lot of people know that these coins were just horribly struck in the 1940s. Okay, so if you looked right down the center of the coin, okay, this area would be just flat. It would be the highest point on the coin, and generally the strike would be so weak that you lose a lot of like the skirt lines. Another thing that people like to look for is Lady Liberty holding the bundle of olive branches. Okay, if you're able to see her hand and the drapery, action and just the designation lines of all that stuff, then you have a coin that's really well struck. This one, however, is not only well struck because you can see all that stuff, but it is also a very high grade. It's a PCGS mid-state 67, and I always tell folks, you keep an eye out for stuff like this, you will go no wrong. Okay, they are being scooped up in this secondary market, and even some of the lower mid-state grades like 63, 64, 65, and they sell for a lot more money than you would realize. This one brought home $20,400. $20,000 for a 42S Walking Liberty. And now you know why. Originality, strong strike, popular design, Adolph Wyman hitting it out of the park, boy, and you got something that's just an amazing piece all around. And then finally, we're going to end it off on the final Walking Liberty half dollar. Okay, and I'm happy to close it out with a 47D. This is the very year that my mom was born, so this is only fitting that I threw this in here. The toning is just dynamite. Okay, it's like 4th of July. It's just colorful on both sides of the coin. You can't ask for anything more to help complete this work of art. This is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. Sold for $10,200. Okay, the strike on these are generally pretty good. Excuse me. So, you know, we're not worried too much about that, but, you know, it's a high grade in conjunction with all the color, just years and years of color. Then it's a coin that deserves every single dollar that was thrown at it at the end of the day. What'd you guys think? A lot of great stuff. This list, by the way, comprises of less than like 0.1%, you know, of everything that's sold during this event. You could always go to their website, ha.com, check out what is sold, all right, through the completed closed auctions. You could bring up just, you know, the Florida Fund for coins or currency. It's amazing. A lot of great stuff sold. And I ended up winning one item through it all, and I'm glad what I did. I'm gonna share it once I receive it. It's a really fantastic event. It's a very deep pockets event, along with a few others like Long Beach, and there's a few of them that I could possibly just throw out there. Baltimore is a big one. The ANA World's Fair money. So there's like 4 or 5 events throughout the year. Heritage Fund, definitely one of the best. Great way to kick off the year, even though we're all and broke because of the holidays. Yeah, I wish I had more money to throw at this event. I could really use some PC love. I haven't bought anything, like super great. That's something that would just knock the collective socks off, I guess. But yeah, go ahead and check it out. ha.com. All right, Heritage Auctions, again, throws down some great images. All the credit in the world for these images to Heritage. Their group does a great job at just being able to show their originality and colors of every single listing that they feature. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Yeah, go ahead and throw in a comment. Tell me what your favorite coin was. Or maybe you saw another coin on the fund sale that maybe would garner a little bit of extra attention. You guys let me know. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. Again, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. And yeah, we've discovered a whole ton of great coins. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you